Alright, Rick, it's time for the video where we start making predictions, and people can make fun of us if we're right or wrong, but let's put it out there. First game of the week, probably the game of the year so far. Lake Travis, number 1 in our preseason power poll. Westwood, number 3. Both teams are still undefeated. You got Baker Mayfield on one side, you got Bear Fittimore on the other. Who's going to win this one?
Well, I'm going to go way out on a limb on this one, and I'm going to say Lake Travis.
Not much of a limb there.
No, that's a very small limb. Anyway, just last week, 49-7 over New Braunfels Canyon. They averaged 11 yards a play.
Yep.
Very economical. They've got so many weapons, they just throw them in and out. Baker Mayfield, 73% of his passes completed. I think they're going to win, probably by 2 touchdowns.
I'm going to go with Lake Travis. I actually think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. Westwood, very good kicker in Colin McGuire, so pretty much anytime they get into Lake Travis territory, they're going to be a threat to score. Offensively, with Bear Fittimore starting to kind of take over that Ben Johnson role, running and passing the ball. But I'm going to be interested to see what happens with Lake Travis. Zach Austin's had an incredible start to the season. He's averaging over 30 yards per catch. But Westwood has Brad Watson, who's he's going to be playing defensive back at Wake Forest next year. So it's going to be interesting to see who else steps up in the receiving core, whether it's Preston Dupree or Tyler Payne. But I think with those 3 wide receivers, Sean Nixon in the backfield, I think that's too many weapons for Westwood to handle. I say Lake Travis wins by 7. We just talked about one state champion in Lake Travis. Let's talk about a second one in Refugio. They're coming up to play Lago Vista. We've all heard about what they did last year. They even made ESPN with they're scoring 90 points a game. You talked to both coaches. What do you expect out of this game?
Well, let's just say that both coaches are confident. One is a little bit more confident than the other.
Yeah.
16-0 last year. They finally won it after almost 20 years, or pretty close to that. The thing about Refugio is they've got their all-state quarterback back in Travis Quintanilla. Lago Vista lost their 2 star leaders, but they won a big one last week. So Coach Hare, he said he got a puncher's chance, and he just better hope it comes early. But it will be the first time ever that the number 1 team in the state will ever play at Lago Vista's field.
Are you going to get a prediction there? Or?
I'm going to go with Refugio.
Yeah, I'll go Refugio too. I mean, they haven't lost a regular season game in forever. Just too much firepower. Lago Vista, if they're going to win this game, Seth Lorenzo, their running back, needs to have a good game. They need to just keep the ball out of Refugio's hands. But I just think that's too bit of a tall task. But Lago Vista, it's a good early test for them before they get into a district with Cameron Yo, another very good team that's expected to contend for a championship. Let's go back to 4A. Manor, Leander. Manor's 1-1, Leander's 2-0. Who do you like in this one?
I like Leander, the new number 2 team in the state, by the way. They went from 4 to 2. They're just good all the way around. Caleb Woodward, outstanding quarterback. He's really risen. Manor threw for 306 yards last week, but when all is said and done, I just think Leander has too many weapons for them.
Yeah, Leander's defense is playing really well right now. They've only allowed 7 points this year. They gave up a touchdown in their season opener to Conley. And I actually believe Conley led 7-0, so after that 7-0 lead,
got mad.
They've been storming. They shut out Hendrickson last week. So Chris Johnson for Manor, the quarterback over there, he had a pretty good game last week, 2 touchdowns, but I think Leander's too good defensively, and I think they'll win this one rather easily. Last game, Rouse, Hayes. We've agreed in the last 3 games. I think we're going to agree on this one, but who do you have for this one?
We were talking about really good quarterbacks. Caleb Kimbrough from Hayes, he just does everything. To me, he's the 2nd best quarterback in this area behind Baker Mayfield at Lake Travis. I'm going to go with Hayes. I know that it's going to be a tough game because Rouse is coming off a big win. They finally won 2 games in a row for the first time in school history. They're playing with confidence, but I think Hayes is, they just play so well at home, Bob Shelton Stadium. I can't see them lose.
Yeah, this is going to be probably their first test of the year. They had Burbank opening weekend, and Anderson's been struggling last week. So Rouse will present a challenge, but Caleb Kimbrough, that says it all. That's why I'll go with Hayes, and I expect them to be 3-0 going into next week.
I can't believe we just agreed to agree.
4-4. I think that might be a first time.
5 years.
Yeah, but those are our predictions. Check Saturday's paper to see how we did, and we'll see you next week.